So I'll revise you 4 things. First thing, go to your GitHub, go to your Git, local Git, and generate a SSH key. So you will be able to find 2 SSH key at a default location. Now open an agent, add the SSH key to that agent so that you are authorized now. But now you have to do it on the GitHub way also. So in GitHub, you have to add that particular key here. So now there's 2 ways. So you will be able to connect from GitHub to Git in the local way. So this is how you're going to add an SSH key here, and once done, you can now switch to your place. Fine. So this was all about the SSH keys. Now what I'm going to do, now I want this particular whole code to be added to my repository. So where is my repository? I'll go back. I'll go to my home page and I can see that on my code decode, I have this organization I've created, which is nothing but code decode learning source code. So in this, there is nothing but an empty way, right? So what I want to do, I want to put this code here in the source code folder. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do right click git bash here, and in this particular file, in this particular, I don't have any repository or branch available here. So I'm going to do git init. So what does this command do? It initializes your local repository as the git repository, and .git folder is being created here. So able to see my .git folder here. So this is how the beauty of this git init command is. What does this do? It initializes my local directory or the source file as a git repository. So now this particular code becomes a part of working area. So before trying to make this particular code push to the as an admin to the repository, I'm going to cover few areas for you.
If you guys are facing issues in finding jobs due to these COVID situations, Relevel by Unacademy Group took an initiative to create a giant online platform to help new graduates or the people having 0 to 3 years of experience to get jobs in big giant companies like Urban Company, Upgrad, Razorpay. These companies are having the CTC as up as 15 LPA, lakhs per annum. You can register to this using the link or give in the description below, and you can use the code of code 10 CODE10 to avail 10% of offers. Now you have 3 tournaments here basically. The 3 tournaments are business development tournament, front end development tournament, and back end development tournament. These 3 tournaments have basically 2 main rounds, which is first is prelims, which is considering of 3 challenges, then the mains, which is actually consisting of 2 challenges. If you clear the mains round, then you will be able to get some personalized mentoring from the Relevel team to help you get through these companies. This particular challenge starts from 26th of June and the registration ends on 22nd of June. So please hurry up for the same. Links are given in the description below. Thank you.
So let's see these areas, okay? So we will be covering some areas now. Now this is my local system for you, okay? Now I have something in this local system for you. Now I want that system has something called as source code. Local system, okay? So this is nothing but a file system for me, okay? This is a file system in my particular laptop. Now what will happen, this was my source code before this .git. What I've done now, I have done git init. So what will this particular command do? This command will do nothing, but it will get my code into something called as working area. So what is working area? This is the area where I'm going to put my code as a way where my git can understand it, but the files, all the files in the working area are untracked files. So once I've done git init, so you can see I've already done git init, and you can see in this folder that .git folder is created. So with this folder created, all these files are in untracked status, but this all area becomes working area. So initially it was only file system for me, but with this git init, this particular area becomes a working area for me. Now what if I want all these files to be added in the area where git at least understands that these are tracked files? That means I know that these files are the part will or are going to be the part of Git. So what I'm going to do is to do git add. So similar to this, I'm going to do git add with a dot. So what does this do? Add all the files in my working area and add it to the local repository. So this is called a stage area, and all the files here becomes tracked files या फिर staged files. Okay, so remember this very importantly, that once you have code here, this doesn't matter anything. This does Git does not even understand it. So this code is nothing but a file system code. With git init command, you will do nothing but make sure that your simple file system becomes your working area for Git. That is, you have initialized it with a Git initializations. Now with git add and dot after it, it will make sure that all the files in the working area becomes your staged files or tracked files, and that area, that is this particular area, becomes your staged area. So how will we do that? I'll be showing that to you in a particular second. Now with this staged area, I'm going to do git commit. So what will this do? Git commit will add all the staged files to my local repository. So what is local repository? So this is something where all the staged files are added to Git, and now Git knows that this is going to be pushed to GitHub. So can you see there will be a difference between Git and GitHub. Till now all this thing was Git in my local system. So this was all about local area. Now from this local area, I want that it should be pushed to my GitHub, right? So this is my remote repository. So how will I add this particular thing to my remote repository? By git push command. So what does this git push command do? Git push command does nothing but add all your files which is in a local repository to the shared repository on the internet. So this is on internet, and all these things from here to here, including this local repo, is in source file system. So only this particular thing is on internet, and whatever you do till here is on local system. So if these areas are clear to you, let me demonstrate that for you. So I've already demonstrated git add to you, and this particular thing becomes my working area. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do as per my this, I'm going to do git add with a dot, git add with a small dot. So what does this do? It adds all my things to the staged area. So I'm going to do git status to show you. So it says that now there is a new file, HTML file, JS file, JS code file, and all these files are there, but no commits are done yet. So it says I'm on master, I have added to my staged area, but these files are not added to my commit. So for what will we do for adding it to commit? I just have to do git commit space -m and my message. So I'll write git commit space -m and my message as first ever commit. Okay, and now I'm going to put enter here. So what it does, it says 10 files are changed, created this particular thing, and now if I do git status, what it will do, it will say nothing to commit, working area is clean. And now with this particular change, what happened, I have done all the staged files with this git add command into my local repository, and now it is all completed in the local part. Now I want this particular thing to be added to the remote repository. So what I need to do, I need to add a command that is called as git push. But before that, you can see here that in this .git folder, in this .config file, I'm going to edit with Notepad++. I don't have any origin or remote repository being told. Like what is my origin, what is my remote repository. I don't have anything like that. So what I need to do, I just need to go back to my repository and this is my SSH key, right? So this is nothing but my origin. This is where my original repository lies. So what I need to do, I need to do git remote add. So what does this do? It adds a remote repository. There are two basic types of repositories, like origin and upstream. I'm going to show that to you in a diagrammatic way, but first let me do that for you. So I do git add origin and my SSH key, and I do enter. So what will happen? It will add, but I don't know is it added or not. So what will I do? I'll do git remote space -v. So it's gonna tell me that all for fetching and pushing this particular origin, the one I have already added here, is being depicted here. So this is how I verify that now I'm able to connect with my source repository, which is a remote one where I'm going to push it. So I'm going to do git push -u origin master. So what this particular command will do, it will say authenticity of this particular thing can't be established, and RSH key, are you want to sure that you want to continue? And if I say yes, because it's the first time I'm trying to put something to that particular repository, so it says that you have, like, I have authenticated, yes, it is me doing it, and so it is permanently added to the RSA list. And now my master branch is already available here, and I can see my code here. So I'll do refresh, and can you see I have all my code available under my code decode learning under source code folder. So that was as simple as that. What we have done, we have created a particular source code as an admin. So I was admin here, if you can see my source code, I was admin here. I've added all the source code, all these files with image folder into this particular repository. So now my, as an admin, I have done my task. The first ever commit I have done, and now this particular source code learning organization is now having a repository which is source code, and this particular repository has all the code. So as a particular admin, my task is done, and congratulations, we have completed one step successfully. Now in the second step, I've showed you that once admin is done, the second step will be to create the users. So I'll go to this particular place and I see this source code. So what I want to do, I want this particular repository to be actually forked by every user. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to behave like one user also, because an admin can also be a user. So I'm going to do fork. So it's asked me where should I fork. So this is me, this is code decode 0225. This is not code decode learning, this is different from this. This is an organization name learning, and this is my username. So I'm going to create here, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to create here. So can you see, I'll go to my home page for you. So can you see I have a source code repository here, which is a learning one, and I have this a source code 0225. So this is my organization and this is my username. So I'm behaving as an admin here, and I'm behaving as a user here. So when I go here, I can see that this source code also is available under my username. So once I have created a fork, so this is my code decode, this is being forked from this particular organization level source code, right? So it says that this is nothing but a replica of the organization level repository. So I hope this much is clear for you. And now what we are going to do, proceed further, is I'm going to create a user here. So I, in a DE and in the git folder, I am already an admin. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to behave as a user here. So in user, what will I do? I have already created a fork. So I'll go back to, I'll do Control Z here. Give me a moment. So back to our ways where we were working. So this was organization level done. Then we have forked level, because I'm just the only person here. So I have my forked. So this is organization. This is forked. And if you remember, I have already said that once you have forked it, what we need to do, we need to create a local of it. So how do we create a local? So I've already told you, to create a local you have to clone. So till here it was on internet, right? So this was all the part of internet, but now this is a part of my local system. So how to get, as a user, how to get what my admin has put to internet and I've put it to on my forked branch, how to get it to my local system. So in this particular row I'm going to do git bash here, and I'm going to do git clone. And what do I need to clone? I just need to clone my own repository, which is being forked. So this is not my forked. I need to go home. Here, this is my forked. This is 0225. This is my own user. So in this, I have this particular thing as forked. So I'm going to do clone with SSH. So I'm going to copy this particular thing. And with this copied, I'm going to go back to my thing. This particular thing is done, right? So I'm going to do paste. So git clone. This is my username and this is my repository. This is nothing but a sourced forked repository of source code. I'm going to do enter. It says this is a warning. This is permanently added to my list because even pulling and pushing to the new forked repository. The previous one was organization level. As an admin, I did that. Now I'm doing this for you as a user. So this is permanently added. So let's go back to see whether, yes, we have our source code and all the code is available here. So that was as easy as that.